Hello, ladies. Happy Tuesday and happy friggin' last day. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, obviously. Okay, perfect. Happy last day of November, which is absolutely nuts. But yeah, super excited to see you guys and super excited for our call tonight. Big thank you to Melissa for guest speaking for us. So obviously we all know and love Melissa. So I don't need to introduce her. She's Melissa, we know. But I just wanted to say a couple things. So Melissa is an Emerald coach, but she's kind of more like a quadruple duple Emerald coach. Basically, she's getting really close to Ruby, Diamond. She's got lots of coaches under her. And yeah, so that's super exciting. She's super consistent on her social media. She's rocking the crap out of her own personal journey. And tonight she is going to speak to us about just how she's made some shifts within her business and how they're making a really big impact on her results. So I will pass the floor over to you. Oh, wait, I got to share my screen. 1 second. I forgot. So Melissa did up a little slideshow. So I'm just going to.
I totally forgot to. I would have just gone without it.
Oh, that would have felt so bad. Okay. 1 second. Let me just make sure. Oh, let me just get that full screen though, if I can do that.
That's probably fine. It's nothing like.
Oh, is that good? Or no?
I think it's not really anything that's crazy. I was sitting here and the kids were going crazy. It was 6:40. It was probably 6:35 tonight, and I'm like, oh, I had these notes. Okay, guys, this is the notes I had for tonight. The worst organization. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do a slide. So that's how that came up.
No, that's awesome. And slides, I know for me, having a slideshow kind of helps, just with points and kind of, I don't know, takes the nerve.
Helps you keep on track.
Yes, that. And also I find it doesn't make you feel bam, it's just your face. I like slideshows because it kind of shifts the focus too.
Okay. You don't want to look at my face, Jen?
Yes, I just mean for me, but yes, of course I do. Okay, I'm gonna mute and let you share all the goods with us.
Okay, everyone can hear me. We're good there. Yes. Okay. Trish said yes. Okay. So shifts in my business. I was kind of teeter-tottering between always showing up and then not showing up. My mental health was just whatever. And I really had to just sit down and be okay, if you want this, this is something you have to go for. And I can't just be on the fence 24/7. So I shifted my business. Last month I hit SC. I don't really know. I think it was 11 or 12, maybe 13. After 2 months of not hitting it at all because I just didn't show up. I was a hot mess, literally. So you can go to the next slide if you want, Jen. My story, a little background on me. I started coaching in March of 2020, and it was just before the pandemic hit. I remember I was scrolling social media and I came up on a coach's progress pictures. It wasn't even social media. I was Googling. I was laying in bed. I was sad at the world because I was thinking I was going to be forever overweight. And I was Googling before and after pictures of people that had transformations. And I came across Hannah Day. I don't know if anyone's familiar with her or not. She is someone that won one of the Beachbody challenges. So I came across hers and then I fell into Beachbody. So I had actually a different coach that wasn't even on this team before I met Bailey. And then I met Bailey, loved her, loved the idea of having someone in the same community as me to join the Beachbody community that I could I actually knew and could put a face to. So I switched to her. That's how that all started. I started because I wanted to have a third pregnancy, a third child. We haven't got that far yet. Stay tuned. And I just really wanted to become healthier. I always have high risk pregnancies, so losing weight was like always my top goal. But as I keep coaching and I keep going, my shifts change often. So I'm constantly like I show up for myself for different reasons all the time, and I think that's okay. Like, so if you're finding yourself wanting you started for one reason, but now you're continuing for other reasons, that's totally great. So that was just like a little backstory. I lost 60 pounds, and then I kind of uh gained a few back. So I'm like at 50 pounds lost right now. And yeah, so that it has like really transformed my life. So the challenge group, I was like kind of like on and off with it. I couldn't really get a groove going. I was neglecting it. It wasn't really a priority for me. I was just like basically trying to hit Success Club any way possible. And it just like wasn't really working for me. So on our last team call, I'm not 100% sure who was all on there, but we got talking about challenge groups, and it really got me thinking. I'm just trying to make it bigger on my end. Yeah. And I really wanted to start making them a priority. We were talking, and it was like, if you're going to sign up coaches, it's probably going to be people that are already doing everything that you're telling them to do, or you want them to do alongside of you. So your challengers are literally your walking advertisements. Like they tell all of their friends, and then their friends sign up. And so you really need to, what I find is that you need to pour everything into your challengers. And then that's what I've learned the past probably like 4 to 5 weeks, that's really, really helped me. If you need help with your challenge groups, just ask. I had a lot of questions for myself the last team call that were answered, and that helped me a lot too. Treat them like your coaches. So if you want to drink the Shakeology and this and that, and you're telling your coaches to be proof of the product, your challengers want to do that too. They want to be a part of your community. And if that's going to help them be a part of the community more, they're probably going to do it. So you want to make sure that in your challenge groups, you are asking like, who's doing this? Who's doing that? Are you drinking your Shakeology? Or make sure when you post that you're also sharing that you are doing those things. Basically, you want to be their best friends because you signed them up for a reason. You guys clicked. And yeah, so I did this last month, I did 2 dinners with, I did a dinner in Manitowoc where I live, and I had 4 people come over. We had dinner, we talked, we chatted. It was like a friggin' blast. And then we also, I went to Thunder Bay where a lot of my other challengers are, and we went out for dinner and went out for drinks, and it was also like a friggin' blast. I like met some people I had never met before, and we really hit it off, and now I feel like I connect with them on different levels so I can relate to them in other ways other than Beachbody too, because I feel like that's kind of important too, to know like other parts of their life. I also got cups that I gave them with my team name written on them, and I feel like that was like really personable, and that really helped like connect with them. And then prizes. So I had never given out prizes in my challenge groups. So I don't know if any of you do that already or not. I know Trish does, I'm pretty sure, and Jen also does. I like didn't know this was a thing until the last team call. So I am starting because we just finished a challenge group. I am going to give out a pair of leggings this time, and then I'll like switch it up. But I think I'm going to leave it between, I don't know, like $30 to $50. I don't know how much it usually is, but anyways, I had like really good engagement. I feel like the whole morale of my challenge group really changed this month, and I'm really, really proud of that. I'm going to go to the next slide. So I really asked myself, like, why am I here? What do I want to share with everybody? I really had to get like deep in myself, and like sometimes I was showing up and I'm like, oh, like, do I even deserve to be here? Like, should I be showing up? You just really want to ask yourself why you started, why you wanted to coach, and what is keeping you coaching, basically. So for me, I am coaching. It is helping with my accountability. Without coaching, there is no way I would have lost that 50 pounds. I would never be the person I am today. Before coaching, there is so much that I never incorporated in my day-to-day life that I am doing now. So, and I have that for coaching. Also, I have found that I am relying a lot, well, like solely on Tyler's income, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. So I actually messaged Jen like, I don't know, 5-6 weeks ago, and I'm like, I want to start making my own, like, I want this to become an income for me. And that's like my leverage. So find your leverage. Mine is so I can support myself. Like, I don't have to ask to use money or anything like that. I want like financial freedom for myself. Okay, next slide. And commit. So before I started 30-day breakaway, I had not committed to a program in a long time. I had started 6:45. I found the workouts were too long for when I was doing them. I stopped them, and then I was trying to like bounce back and forth. I did MBF, but like it was still, I wasn't feeling it. So I committed to a program that I loved. I committed to the advanced calendar, actually. I went all in, and I picked a nutrition program. I will forever be a to be mindset person. I love it. I find the containers complicated, just like tedious and annoying, but I know it works for a lot of people. So just like pick one that you really enjoy personally and that you can follow through with. And then a personal development book. I struggle with this a lot. Sometimes I like to listen to podcasts. Trish shared someone, I don't remember who it was, Kyra Carlin, I'm pretty sure. I really like listening to hers. But I find that if you are 100% committing to yourself, then and you're sharing that, everyone around you is going to want to do the same thing. And then I also, like, I showed up, like I did reels every day about how I was about to do a 10K. Like, everyone knew by the time I was running my 10K that I was running a 10K that day. Like, I could not back out of running this 10K even if I wanted to. And trust me, there was a few times where I really friggin' wanted to not do that 10K. And I had people like messaging me the night before that like I had never talked to you about running ever. And they're like, oh, like, I'm so excited for you to do your 10K tomorrow. I'm like, who are you? But I showed up and I shared it consistently that I had committed to running this 10-kilometer run. So, and then like for your challengers too, like you can't ask them to join you and commit if you're not committing yourself. So yes, I feel like that is very important to do, is commit to that and commit to sharing it along the way. All right. Next, act like the person you are trying to become. So me and Jen also had a talk a little while ago, and I'm like, I want to be a top coach. I've always wanted to be a top coach, but like I was not showing up like I wanted to be a top coach. I was not putting the time into my business. I can like sit there, scroll social media and say, oh, like I am doing everything, like I'm connecting. Like I was not. Like if you want to become something, you just need to act like you've already became that. So what I was doing, like even with tonight, for example, before this call, before I put the kids to bed, I was literally sat right there on the chair and I was like looking over these notes and like, I really need to organize them. And I'm like, I'm going to make a slide. Like, I just watched a team call from someone else's team on YouTube and she had a slide. And I'm like, I was talking myself out of this. I'm like, no, you don't have time. Like, Melissa, you have literally 20 minutes before you have to put these kids to bed to make the team call. Like, do not have time to make a slide for the team call. You just procrastinated making notes for. And look at me, I did it. Like, you can literally do anything you put your mind to. And like, even if you're a procrastinator like me, like, this is the first slide I have ever made, probably since like grade 11. Like, I don't even know. I lost my debit card. I was going to sign up for like Canva and Teamsy and everything like that last night. And I think I lost my debit card at the grocery store yesterday and I still have to go get a new one. But so I made this on free Canva. Like, you don't even need to spend money to do stuff that you want to do to become the person that you're trying to become. So I am trying to manifest that I'm going to be an organized person that does slides. And look, I did a slide. So act like the person that you want to come. I was stuck in the mentality so long, like, that I just didn't want, like, I wanted it, but I didn't want it enough, I guess. So putting myself out there and saying like, I want to be a top coach. Well, like, I'm just going to start acting like one, because no one on Instagram knows that I'm not. No one knows. Like, you just act it and people will believe it, literally. And then you'll become it because everyone will believe that you are. Anyway, so that like really resonated with me, to act like the person you're trying to become. Next slide. So did anyone do the Carissa training? There was like two, there was one that she did for free, I think, and then another one that she did for the Success Club. So anyways, she talked about an old self and a new self. And I'm like only very briefly going to talk about this because I could probably talk about it forever. But there's like a person that you show up with every day, but you know that there's something deep inside of you that you can become. And she explained it perfectly. So you have like a pair of glasses on and you're this person and whatever, like how I would like normally be is like laying on the couch, like all slumped over. And then she said to take those glasses off and think of the person that you want to become. Think of the person that you have been trying to become and just put on the lenses, put your new glasses on, and how, like, do you see the world differently? Clearly, she like explained it way better, but it was like how I talked about on the last slide. Look and be the person you want to become, because that is just how you're going to become it. You need to change up things and just like live your life how you want to live it. I explained that awfully, but we're going to move on to the next slide. Okay, dive into your training resources. So I was slacking hardcore with all of this. So there are national wake up calls every Monday that I think it's at 11 a.m. you can tune into. They also I think it's the Beachbody Champions page. That's where they put the recordings. The Carissa training, I don't know if we can still have that link up or not, but she also posted that they like linked up with Beachbody to do the 10-week one. And then Jen's archive of like all of her team calls. Jen's that on YouTube or it's still in the Facebook group?
So they're on both. So when I post them
Okay.
to YouTube, I put them in, there's a team call like file in the team page. So they're all in there with like the titles and the link. So you can access.
Okay.
Probably easiest to go through the Facebook group because I don't even know
Okay.
what my YouTube channel is.
I think you literally could just type in Jen
Oh,
Quigley on YouTube and it would come up.
oh, cool.
Maybe it's Jennifer. I do it. So like my favorite Beachbody top coach is Morgan Rieger, and she posts new trainings all the time on her YouTube. I think it's just like the easiest way for your coaches to go there. And I will go and I will read it or watch it. Sorry. The back office also has lots of trainings that you can watch. And then YouTube. Like, so I was obsessed for a little bit trying to find my niche. And so I was also being cheap and I didn't want to like invest in some trainings because there's so many people on Instagram and I like could not narrow it down, and it was so overwhelming like who I wanted to like take this on with. So I actually YouTubed it. And I watched like one night, instead of watching Netflix, I watched a bunch of YouTubes on a niche. And I like kind of figured it out, kind of not really, but it's a really good resource. You can even like you can YouTube anything, literally anything. If you want to learn anything, it's all on YouTube. But yeah, so dive into your training resources because that will help you so much. Just like a 20-minute call from anyone and you will like feel refreshed and like it's yeah. It'll be like you read your personal development, but it's just with someone in the Beachbody world. And then the next one is to invest and believe in you. So you must expect great things of yourself before you can do them. It literally all comes down to like belief and investing. So whether that's like in Shakeology or your pre-post workout, I just got a new laptop because my other one died. And I understand why everyone does everything on their computer now. I was always that person that was like, no, I just do it on my phone. Like, why are you guys all on your computers? Like, I get it. Like, I have a laptop now from this era. Like, Tyler's laptop was from 2011, and I could not do any of this stuff on it, guys. So, like, that made a world of a difference. Canva, you don't even have to invest. Like I made this slide on the free one, but I'm probably going to get the pro one I had it before and then I lost the year. And then TeamZ, I really want to try TeamZ. I know Jen uses it. I'm not sure if anybody else does, but I cannot keep track of anybody or anything to save my life. And I'm really hoping that this helps, because going through my Instagram about 5 years back, not actually, only like a year back, it's not cutting it out for me. So yeah, invest in yourself, believe you can do it, and then you'll want to invest in yourself, because you're not gonna be like, oh, like I'm gonna invest in myself and then I'm gonna fail. Like, no, you just need to believe that you're gonna do it, believe that you're gonna use these, invest in it so you do use these. And yeah, I don't have much else to say, but yeah, start believing in yourself, because once I started believing in myself, where did you guys go? I really feel like I've calmed myself down.
I was trying the whole time you were talking, I kept trying to type things in the chat box and then I had to change the slide and then I was like, crap. And I didn't know if you guys could see me trying to type in the chat box. So I was like, I didn't know. Anyways.
There's nothing in the chat box.
I had so many comments on things you were saying, but I couldn't get fast enough. And then yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like screwing up the screen share. So I was like, I'll just stop. But that was amazing. Thank you, first of all. So I just kind of made a couple of notes, some of your like key points. And then if you guys have any questions at all for Melissa or anything she just said, you can unmute and ask, or just type them in the chat box if you're not comfortable speaking. So I love how you kind of said, like at the beginning, you you go all in and then you weren't, and like kind of teeter-tottering back and forth. And like like when you go all in, you go all in. And like, look at, like you said, last month you hit Success Club 12. You just locked in Success Club today on the last day of the month. I knew you would do it.
Thank goodness. Oh, that was like the most stressful month ever, guys. Oh my God. And you know what? Actually, it's funny because the last person that I just signed up was, I like went into my back office and I went through everyone and I found all the people that had signed up for a 3-month subscription and that had kept getting it. So like they didn't cancel. They were just like, anyway, so she's like, yeah, I want the deal. And I had never done that before. So
That is actually such a good point, because especially now, well, it depends when they joined. Like I know people that joined a while ago, they still get like the guaranteed price that we used to have. But some people that are on the 3-month now, it is like $60 or $70 or something crazy for 3 months when they literally upgrade, and people don't know that. So if you guys didn't know that, like anyone you have on 3-month subscription, definitely reach out and let them know, like, hey, you're paying like say 64 times over the year. I'm not going to try to do math on the spot, but like they are paying a lot more money than they could just get a challenge pack for less. So, and they don't know that. So it's kind of our job to like say, hey, you're paying this and you could pay this. So that's awesome that you did that. I also love that you said like your why can shift in this business, and your why really is important. Like when I started this business, like I was in like such a totally different place, like dating someone else. Like my why was just like completely different than what it is now. So just know, yeah, it is okay. You're going to shift and grow and change, but just make sure you're always kind of reevaluating your why, because this business is hard. It's hard to show up on the days we really don't feel like it. But if you have that really strong why and that big like vision and belief in yourself, that's what's going to help you, show up and push through on the days that we don't feel like it. I love the shifts you're doing in your challenge group, and just like treating them like coaches and like best friends. That is so, so key. Like challenge groups are basically this business. They really are, like, in my opinion, kind of the main thing we do, right? And I love that you did like the leggings. I love that idea. And you don't like prizes, and that is totally optional. Lots of coaches do them, but just know if you want to do prizes, it doesn't have to be like, you could do a $10 gift card. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like people are so appreciative of just usually the community in the space anyway. The prizes are just extra. But like if it's something that they love, I'm always trying to like do polls and just find out things people like, so that it's something that motivates them. But I love the leggings. But yeah, everyone's different, so don't be afraid to feel around, see what people like. Some people love product samples. Some people love gift cards. Some people love like gratitude journals, personal development books, stuff like that. So I love that you did that, and you really like are focusing on your challenge group, because it really truly is like next to ourselves and our own personal journey. I feel like our challenge group is like the most important.
Yeah, I was watching a training too, and they said that before like social media blew up as it blew up, you would sign these people up. Some of your challenge groups would only have like 3 to 5 people in it. And that's the only place you basically got your coaches from. So at the end of the 3 weeks, you'd be like, hey, like you rocked it. Like, you want to be a coach and do what I do too? And like, that was how they got coaches.
Mm-hmm. And that's something I still hear, like, because the biggest question is like, how do I find business builders? Like still to this day, that's such a common question. And honestly, the number one answer I hear from like top coaches and stuff is in your challenge groups, because they're going to fall in love with the products and programs. They're going to get a transformation. They're going to feel good. And what they're basically doing in the challenge group is kind of what we do as coaches, right? So it kind of goes hand in hand. So having that, like, just not have it, like putting your time and like, just making sure you are showing up in there and putting your time and effort into your challenge group, it is going to turn into working coaches, because like you get them to fall in love with everything, and then coaching kind of just makes sense. What was I going to say though? I forget. But another thing I love too, though, is how you said like just committing to a program and stuff. I cannot like stress enough the times that like I'm not really doing that great with my nutrition and stuff. I can feel it. And it's like, it's harder to talk about stuff. It's harder to show up on your stories and stuff. Like, I mean, sure, we all have like off days, but it's like, okay, if it's been like a couple of weeks and like you're still eating like crap, you're like, well, frig, Jen, time to reel it in. But I just feel like when you do go all in, like 21 days, 30 days, 60 days. I know last year I went like, I don't even know, 58 days without alcohol. I committed to Transform 20 or no, 645, not 645. Oh my God, what's Amala's other program?
The prep, the
work. That was the one I think I did last year. I get confused with the pandemic. No, because I was hurt.
I think it was the year before.
The year before, right.
Yeah, you were like injured all of last year.
Right. Okay. So 2 years ago, that's crazy. But January, basically, I always try to go all in. Like I always try to do like no alcohol, follow the program like 100%. And I just find, obviously it doesn't have to be January, but anytime like I do that, like go all in, put it out there that I'm going all in and like show every single day of it. That truly is when I feel like my business thrives the most. Like, because it's just, I don't know, it just like people are watching and they're like, oh, okay, like, you know, she's showing up through this day, like busy days, hard days, and stuff like that. So if you haven't gone all in on a program like workouts and nutrition, definitely like encourage you to do that and like ask people to do it with you too. That's kind of a neat way to say, hey, like I'm going to start on this day. I'm going to do 21 days of, you know, water, movement, yada, yada, yada. So I love that you talked about that, like really going all in.
It makes such a big difference. I finished the 10K and then I'm like, what do I do for 2 weeks until job 1 comes out? And then I'm like, I'll do the live workouts. Then I'm like, I feel like I need the calendar to go off of because I have not worked out in like 4 or 5 days now. And even then I like, it's like so scattered. And yeah, so I'm like really looking forward to Thursday, but I also like committed to this 3-day refresh. So I have that to talk about. Like, oh, like I get to eat cucumbers for 3 days.
But that's true. I'm such a calendar girl too. Like I have a hard time just doing random workouts. Plus I find it just takes so long to pick a workout each day too. So whereas when you're following a calendar, it's like, you know what you're doing. I also like how you kind of talked about like, make sure you do what you say you're doing. Like when we say, oh, we're checking the boxes with our invites and our connections, like, are we really doing those things? Or are we just like liking a couple posts and like saying, oh yeah, I connected today. So that's a big thing too. Like we can say we're doing it, but like, are your actions kind of matching, you know, what you're saying? Like, are you inviting?
Yeah, like, yeah, you can say you're doing it, but like deep down inside of you, you know, like if you're not, like I can be like, yeah, like I'm trying so hard. Like, no, like I can always do better.
Yeah, you do almost have to constantly be like gut checking yourself. Like when we say, oh yeah, I just worked so hard for an hour. Well, okay, I just literally scrolled Instagram and liked and commented on photos. Like that's not working, right? So yes, just kind of being honest with yourself. And like, if you say, yes, I'm working really hard, are you actually working really hard? And I love that you said like, don't have to spend money. Like Teamzy, Canva, I personally, like, I didn't purchase like challenge group stuff for like 3 years. I made all of my own everything, graphics, posts, cover photos, everything. Like I didn't start investing money for like a few years. So don't ever feel like you need to do those things to be successful. You absolutely don't. Like Melissa said, she made that slideshow on free Canva. Teamzy, I think I've used that for a while, but again, not until a couple of years in my business. I love it just for what Melissa said. Like I tried the pen and paper, I tried like Excel, I tried Google Streak to keep up with like people you're chatting with and your current clients. And I just felt like people were slipping through the cracks. I think it's like $23 a month. For me, it's worth it. I use it every single day. It's a huge piece of my business, but I didn't start out using it. So just know like you don't have to invest money to do these things. Like there's just so many like great free tools and apps and things like that out there.
And I use Google Streak, and I find I have better success with Google Streak than I did when I used Teamzy.
Okay, so yeah, so play around for sure, because yeah,
but Google Streak is free. So like you can use it for free with your Gmail account. I don't pay for my Google Streak. There is a paid version, but I literally I did like a training that was YouTube on how to set it up. And I've got like columns set up now. So my challengers are all in a column. My coaches are in a column, people I'm talking to. And I have literally like a column for each month. So if they say, oh, get back to me this month, automatically a follow-up is set. I set the follow-up and I move them to that column.
Like, but at Teamsy, you don't have to move them, right? You just like click like in a month and then Teamsy will remind you. Does Google Streak do that too?
It does. I get an email notification every time I need to follow up with someone. So if I'm on the go, I'm getting that email notification daily of who's on my follow-up list.
So I use Google Streak and I have that all set up too. But I now can't add new people. It's saying I have to pay for it. So I think you will get to a spot where it just says you can't add boxes, but
it's good when you're first starting out.
Oh, yeah.
Do it for free. Like don't invest if this can work for you guys until like you're making money and stuff. Like,
and you can do a free 30-day trial with Teamsy too. I actually used like 4 different emails my first little bit and just kept doing free trials. So play around. So prime example, Trish likes Google Streak. I personally do not like Google Streak. I like Teamsy. Then there's girls that literally, I know coaches that don't use any apps. They use notebooks, pen and paper. Every month they write down every person they talk to, they transfer it over. I tried that. Play around.
Even like, I know Nikita, she went from like Emerald to 15-star Diamond last year and she used nothing. Like she just used her phone. Like she didn't do anything other than like Instagram and Facebook. Like it just blows my mind.
And that's the cool thing. Like you have to like definitely try things, but I always say like if it's not broken, like you don't need to fix it, right? Because there's so much in this business. Every coach, like every week you're going to hear something new, a new way to try things, a new way to run a challenge group. And it's hard to kind of like put your blinders on and be like, okay, I don't have to do everything that everyone is doing. Do what feels good for you. But if something's not working, definitely try new things, play around, see what feels good for you. But yeah, like Nikita, I know she said she doesn't even have a team page. She doesn't have like, and yeah, she literally just like exploded, like took Beachbody by storm, just literally her phone. That was it. And chat, she was big on like chat pods, I think she said. So yeah, that's like that. I love that about this business. You really can make it your own, put your own spin on it, do what feels good for you. But yeah, I loved everything you said, Melissa, about really like believing in yourself and kind of, acting like the person you want to become, even though we're not at all of our goals yet and all of our dreams, like you can still act like you're that person, because that's just gonna, I feel like help you manifest that life that you want. Does anyone have questions for Melissa? Anything she talked about? Anything about her groups or anything? No.
Negative. That's okay.
That just means you
anyone has anything and wants to ask me later, you can always inbox me too.
Does anyone have like any just questions in general? Anything else they want to say? I'm going to be doing, I'll just quickly like mention, I'm going to do a 2-week kind of challenge in the team page. So it's going to start Thursday and it's going to be like kind of like an Instagram challenge about job 1. So it'll start the day of the coach launch and it's going to go until our customer launch. So it's going to give you lots of like post ideas and like real ideas and just ways to kind of talk about this program and stuff, with obviously hopes to get as many people as we can joining Thursday and then like up until the customer launch and beyond. Like this program is going to be the program, I think, on sale and stuff probably. Well, it is on sale for December and then likely January too. So it'll be good to familiarize yourself with it. And if you're not doing the program, that's okay. That is one thing I just want to say too, is that don't feel like you have to do every program that launches, stop what you're doing, jump ship. No, there's, like I didn't do Bar Blend. There's programs I just didn't care to do. I unfortunately couldn't do 6:45 and stuff like that. So that doesn't matter. As long as you're doing a program, that is at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And you're enjoying it and you're sharing about it. And yeah, like, of course, if someone comes to you, I always say have like a basic knowledge of what's going on with new programs and stuff, just so if someone asks you, you can answer their questions. But yeah, I'm excited for December with Bevy and job one. And yeah. But anyways, I just wanted to say that. I'm doing a little challenge and I'm going to do a little giveaway for those that participate over the couple weeks. So yeah.
So challenge on, because I love that's my motivation.
You do.
Jen says she's doing a giveaway and I'm just like, okay, let's go. However, this has been a really bad month for me. And I can honestly say I'm showing up doing the work. Like I've sent like 100 invites a day and I just keep getting, oh, it's too close to Christmas. It's too close to Christmas. It's too close to Christmas. So some months are going to be like that. So don't get discouraged, guys. Like, I'm just like, tomorrow's a new month, new day. Let's do this, right? So you just have to not dwell on it if you feel like you're stuck.
Amen.
Yeah, November was really hard. I did like a little talk to myself this morning. I'm like, you might not hit Success Club, Melissa. Like, you need to be okay with this.
I hope you lose that though. That too.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
I could do it.
Kept messaging this woman until she was like, fine, I did it. It's done. Like, thank you. Like, I can breathe again. But no, I like sent
I'm
other
about to go
invites.
do what you did. I'm going through my 3-month subscriptions. I haven't done that yet today. And I have one other lady I'm about to message back because she wants the sale. I'm like, we only got like 3 hours left. Let's do this.
Yeah, November was a weird month. Again, this year, like usually October, November are a lot busier in general in Beachbody, and they haven't been this year. I think there's just a lot going on, you know, in the world and everything. And I think that's playing a big role. But we are, you know, we're lucky to have this platform and this community and stuff to help during these not so positive times. So it's just, you know, as hard as it is, some days we just have to kind of keep showing up and being that positive light and space for people when they need it, even if it's not right now. You know, maybe like you have to think like everything we're doing, you know, November, December, when January rolls around, or February, when people are ready, they're going to think of you. They're going to be like, oh yeah, like I remember watching Elise or Melissa or Trish or Jessica or Sam or Beverly or Tiffany or Ashley, you know, showing up last month and doing, you know, this program, and I'm ready to do that. So, you know, sometimes it can feel like, oh, like, you know, people aren't liking my stuff or watching, but they're always watching. Like, I can't stress enough. Like sometimes you get people that sign up and they have not liked one of your posts, like nothing. And you're like, how do you even know what I'm doing? But people are always watching. So just be positive, you know, believe in yourself, remind yourself why you're doing this, and just focus on you, number one, and sharing your journey. And just know like you're always inspiring people. And we have like a really amazing gift, like these programs and stuff, they change lives. So just sharing that, you know, and just sharing it, like what it's done for you too, like really sharing your story. And, you know, because that's really what it's all about. It's not about like a challenge pack or anything like that. It's about what these products and programs can really truly do for somebody's life. But yeah. Does anyone have anything else they want to say or share? Again, thank you so much, Melissa. This was awesome.
Nope.
Yes, thank you, Melissa.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't realize it was already 8:45. So we can wrap up. We'll have a call next week. Not sure about what yet, just kind of new month stuff and whatever else, but yeah. Stay tuned for the challenge in the team page. And let's friggin' crush the final few hours of November and make December an amazing freaking month.
Thank you everyone for coming and listening to me.
Thanks, Melissa. You
Thank
did a
you.
good job, Melissa.
Thanks, Jess.
Okay. Sam, were you gonna say something? No? I noticed.
Yeah, I just wanted, yeah, I did.
I was like, I noticed you unmuted, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to Melissa. She did amazing, by the way. I love the slides too. I wrote that down. Just because I am, so it's hard to like maintain the thought process I'm trying to get through. But I've been struggling to just with like with Jen said, sometimes you watch all these people and you try to do all of these different things and you do kind of lose like, what am I doing here? So I thought it was really great that you touched base on that and just kind of bringing it back. That's just something I'm doing too in my challenge group, is just to make it more exciting and kind of put my energy into them. So just putting all my energy and positivity into them. And I've already gotten a lot of feedback and good things from that. So I think it was just really good. Good job.
I know I like watched something too. I'm just gonna like, and someone said, I think it was Kim Fitzpatrick. It was one of her calls that I watched. I've been like all over the place lately. And she said that before you do all of your stuff on social media in the morning, don't go watch other people's stories, because it like will cut your creativity, because you'll just like be like, oh, this person this person that, and like you'll forget what the message you wanted to send for the day was. So yeah, that reminded me of that when you said that, Sam.
I love that. Actually, it's so hard. I find, yeah, the mornings I like open my inbox and stuff before I'm even out of bed. Sometimes it just instantly like puts you in a crappy mood. And then it like that just sets the tone for your day. But the mornings I get up and I do my gratitude journal, I don't check my social media or anything, do my workout. It just, wow, it just really does. It makes a world of difference. So I love that, like not checking other people's stories and stuff before kind of doing you first. I like that a lot. Hard to do sometimes, but
Oh, like 100%. Like I'm not saying that'll be me every day, but I will definitely strive for that, because it 100% makes sense. So it's like, oh, like she showed up in this way, like maybe that's how I should, but that's not what I planned. But yeah.
No, I love that. I love that so much. Because we are our number one. We always have to fill our cups and focus on us first, and then serve others. So I love that.
I'm going to talk again.
Yeah.
Just going back into that, also just like feeding into me and
You're frozen.
feeling like I found out. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I don't know if it was for me, but you were frozen.
It says my internet stable is unstable. But just in the mornings when I would do my workout and I would try to get all of that stuff posted before I got to work, like it was so stressful and I hated it. And I always felt like I was just trying to get all this information out there. And like I didn't feel good about it. So now like I'll make my videos and I'll just hang on to them. And if I find 10 minutes in the day, I'll do one video. And then I'll just kind of keep doing that. So just trying to find out what feels good for you and just really doing more of that.
Yeah. I totally agree. It's definitely like it's a constant like kind of work in progress and battle for sure, but absolutely what feels good. And that is what is so amazing about this business. You get to be you and do what you want to do. You know, you don't have to do anything that anyone's doing or not doing. And so I love that. Like, yeah, save your videos, especially, yeah, if it's rushing you in the morning and it's just not feeling good, don't do it. I do that a lot too. Like I take videos. Like today, I recorded my workout clips. I didn't post them until like 10 hours later. So, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong. And I love that. So thank you for sharing.
I also like love that you and Aaron are doing 645. Like, and you're like, maybe you don't like post them right away or whatever, but like, I notice you consistently showing up in the same way all the friggin' time. And when Aaron's not there, I'm like, where is she? Like, is she doing her workout? Like, and then she's back the next day, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, oh, thank goodness. I'm very invested in this.
Yes, people do. They watch, they get committed, and they like to see that stuff. Yes, I
Thank you
agree.
so much. And she does stay on track with me. We have super different schedules. So if I do mine in the morning and I have to work till 5, she usually gets off by like 2. So she'll do hers between 2 and 5. So she's still on track with me.
Okay, good. Keep us posted.
I know. She was terrified to do that program. She did not think in a million years she'd be able to do it.
Oh, that's awesome though. Good for her for like,
And every day,
comfort
super
zone.
proud of her.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's kind of amazing.
Yep. Super. Thank you.
You're welcome. No, but it was like, yeah, that prime example, and like Melissa, you posting about your 10K and stuff, like people love watching that, and you guys just putting your own spin on stuff and just being you. That's what people, that's what connects people to you and has them relate to you and stuff. But I know like we were all just like pumped for you to run that 10K. So that was a really cool idea how you did that, like 6 days, 5 days, like that was, yeah, definitely like kept us all on the edge of our seats.
Kept me accountable too.
Well, yeah, it's crazy what social media can do, like the power of it. When you put something out there, you're like, okay, well, I got to do it now because I said to the social media world. I love all of this, ladies.
I'll just say, because I'm the new person, that I'm like trying to soak all of this in because I don't really know where to start or go. So everyone's been like super helpful about like getting going. And like whenever I reach out, I feel like everyone's like on top of it. So thank you. And I'll just continue to like put the puzzle pieces together and figure out whatever I'm trying to do here.
Oh, well, you're welcome. And it's a lot. There is so much in this business. I really is just learn as you go, ask questions as they come up.
Yeah.
And just, soak up bits and pieces from everyone. And you're rocking your own personal journey. And that's amazing. That is definitely like number one. But I love that you said you'll kind of just put the puzzle pieces together, and that's what it's all about. And you're on this call, which is amazing. So be proud of yourself.
Yes, and like the biggest thing like I take from like trainings I've done and like coaches I've listened to is just always remember to show up as you. Be 100% you, because that's what they want. Like I am as honest as freaking can be. Like if you watch my stories, I don't care what I share half the time, and I will tell her how it is, and I will share the struggles, and I will share the wins, but people connect to that. So don't be like, even though it may be scary to you, don't ever be afraid to share that, because you don't know who else out there is struggling the same struggle you're struggling, and how you sharing that actually helps them realize like that struggle doesn't need to stay that way.
I love that. Make your mess your message. As hard as it is, to share kind of the good days and the bad days. We're human, and people definitely don't relate to like perfect, right? Because nobody's perfect. So I love that you said that, just being you and sharing it all, the good days, the bad days, the treat days, the wine days, the whatever days, the anything that you're going through.
The dying in the hospital days with the hot doctor to look at your ass.
Yes, exactly. But that's just it. People are going to relate to that. And like, Trish, like you're super busy right now and you're still showing up and doing your workouts, and that's going to relate to busy people. And congratulations on your new job.
And I'm giving notice tomorrow to both part-time jobs. I will.
That is so awesome. You should be so freaking